Okay, so my name is Gediminas, and we're going to talk today about how to build a strong business in network marketing. You know, a business that is not just a flash, bash, bang, but a business that's going to last for a long time, is going to stable, strong, etc. So I'm going to give you a number of different tips. It would be a good idea to go ahead and grab a notepad or a piece of paper or something like that so you can make some notes on the points I'm going to be sharing with you today. I hope you're going to get value as we're going along through the webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box, and I will make sure to answer them at the very end of the training. Okay, so point number one, first thing towards building a strong business is learning how you get paid. Right? Mastering, learning the marketing plan, understanding how the structures are being built, how you earn different income, etc. in the business. Because again, if you started a traditional job, if you went for a job interview and you got a job, how long would it take you to figure out how you get paid in that business? How long would it take? I mean, you probably know how much you get paid before you even go to the interview. You would already know how you get paid. But there's so many people in network marketing, when I speak to them, they've been in business for a month, for 2 months, for 3 months, for 5 months, and they haven't got an idea how exactly do they get paid, how exactly do they hit the next level up, how exactly do they progress through the marketing plan, how much will they get paid at this level, at that level, etc. So it amazes me, because if I don't understand how I get paid, then I cannot explain to other people how they will get paid either. Now, how exactly are we going to build a team if we haven't got a clue how we get paid and we can't explain somebody else? So number one, learn how you get paid. What are the different ways of earning income? Sales income, team building, being paid from worldwide turnover when you reach certain levels. How do you reach those levels? How do you build that structure, etc.? So learn the marketing plan. All the tools are in your sample kit. So all you need to do is grab the marketing plan, read through it, and you will understand. Same way with incentives. Every year, FM does different types of incentives, etc. So again, go ahead and study those incentives. How do I get a car bonus? How do I get a holiday? How do I get this, that, and the other? Understand the incentives, because I can guarantee if you don't understand them, neither does your team members. And they won't understand them either, because if you're not understanding them, you won't be able to explain it to them. So number one, how do you get paid? Number two, who's your upline, right? If I ask you right now, who's your upline? Tell me who's your upline. Okay, anybody can tell me who's your upline? Amina is pointing at me, right? No. Don't treat yourself as somebody's downline. You're not a downline. You don't get paid upline. You only get paid for what happens underneath you. So who's your upline? You are the upline, right? You are nobody's downline. It all starts with you, right? So you get paid from anything that goes down from you. So you are the upline. You are the leadership. You are the CEO of your business. You are nobody's employee. You are nobody's, downline or anything like that. You are the upline. You are the leader, and treat yourself like that. And look at yourself like that. And when your team members start, same way, you need to explain to them, look, you are in my team, I'm going to support you, I'm going to help you, etc. But you don't work for me, you're not accountable to me, you are the CEO of your own business, you are the upline. Okay, so that's number two, you are the upline. Number three, make every day count. Now, this is probably the most important bit of the whole of this training today. Make every single day count. Probably most people are cheated out of huge opportunities in life because they get faked out that there's always going to be time to do it. There's always tomorrow. There's always next week. There's always next month. So people get faked out with this belief in tomorrow, with this belief in next day, belief in someday. Someday is not a day of the week. It's not on the calendar. It's only today. So there's so many people get faked out. And, I heard this recently and I really liked it. It said, whatever devil cannot derail it, it tries to delay it, right? So whatever devil cannot derail, it will try to delay. So that's where people start procrastinating and waiting along, etc. And that's the worst thing you can do in your business. And again, I've seen it time and time again when people who are in their 60s, who are in their 70s, start in network marketing at this age, they go really fast. And I always kept thinking, why is that? Why does that happen like that? Are they like, super wise, or are they because they have so much experience, they progress so fast? And what I realized after listening to a number of them is that it's not that they are more clever, more talented, or anything like that, but for them, it's urgent. They know that they've got a very limited amount of time left. So they want to make sure that they use every single day and make it count to get to the next level. So this is really, really, really important. Make sure that you make every day count. Do something every single day towards your business. And I'm going to say it again when we come to the momentum. So make every day count is number 3. Number 4 is work on a 2-year calendar and work event to event. So you see, so many people, they just drift through life and drift in business as well, because they're used to drifting in life. They drift in business as well. So when it comes to business, they join and they things happening to them haphazardly. So they go, oh, there's a conference next month. Oh, wow, let's go there. Let's buy a ticket. And oh, there's a training, etc. So they haven't got a plan really in their life and in their business too. Really pros in this business, people who have built hundred thousands of people's organizations and made millions of dollars in this business, etc. What I noticed that these people are very meticulous with their time. And, I do a whole time management training, on a different occasion. But more than that, is basically planning. It's planning the whole year. One thing that I do every single year, at the end of the year, I review the whole year. And then I plan the next year. So roughly, like not exactly to the hour, the whole year, but roughly I have an idea of what training is going to be happening throughout the year. When around is the conference? What sort of time is going to be the picnic? What sort of time, are we going to go there, and there? So I map the whole year out. So I have a general idea. And this way I can then build my business from event to event. So as soon as one event finished, I can start promoting the next event and build up my business to that event. That event happens and I can start building up my business to the next event. So it's like chunking up your year, and if there isn't event, you can make one of yourself, like a 90-day plan. So you can sit down with your team. If the next conference is 6 months from now or 9 months from now, you can sit down with your team and go, okay, let's do a 90-day game plan. And we finish off with this event on this day, etc. So you can make your own events if there isn't one, happening, etc. But work event to event and work on a 2-year calendar. So try to plan out as much as you can. So this way, you're working every single day, you're making every single day count, but you've got a plan like 2 years in advance. So this way you have a bigger picture, because like the more you zoom out, the more you see the whole picture, instead of just seeing here what's right in front of you, if that sort of makes sense. So that's number 4, work on a 2-year calendar and event to event. Number 5, be consistent and persistent. You see, consistency and persistence in our business is like bread and butter. What I mean by consistency? Well, you see, if you're not busy today, it has nothing to do with today, because that means you haven't set up the work from yesterday. If you have a very quiet month, it has nothing to do with this month. It means that you haven't set up in the last month. So the work you're doing right now, the appointments you're booking today, going to keep you busy tomorrow and next week and next month. People who you are prospecting today, you're going to be following up next week, and you're going to be getting them started next 2 weeks or next month, etc. So if right now it's like tumbleweeds going in your business and there's music, that means you haven't been busy last week and last month, etc. Right? Does that make sense? So basically, when you're consistent, you're basically setting yourself up for success every single day, every single week. So what you do this week sets you up busy for next week. And what you do next week sets you up busy for the week after. And this way, you never quit, because that's why you're setting yourself up. So whenever you see that, oh, there's not much happening in my business, the chances are it might be because you haven't been putting in the time last week, last few weeks, etc. Hey, Kel, nice to see you here. So that's really, and then persistence. Everybody gets blows in business. Everybody gets hit in business. Everybody has bad days and terrible days, and has, things happen. We get rejected and things, this is very emotional business. So what you want to understand that, everybody goes through that, not just you. The top leader in the business and the brand new person in the business, they all go through the same stuff. The difference is that people who've been in business for a long time, who are top leaders, who have good income, etc., they have learned to persist through that. Even if they get hit, they stand up and keep going. Even if something happens, they get up and they keep going. I don't know if you ever seen that video clip from Rocky where Sylvester Stallone speaks to his son, and he goes, "It's not in life if you're gonna get hit. He goes, it's when you're gonna get hit. But the question is, are you gonna get up and keep going, despite being hit? Because if you don't, life will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently." So that's really true. It's absolutely true. Same in business. If you allow circumstances or negative people or naysayers or dream stealers to beat you down to your knees and you just give up, they will keep you there permanently. I promise you that. So number 5, be consistent and persistent. Number 6, build momentum. You see, it's all about momentum. It's all about that snowball effect. When you start a little snowball from the top of the mountain, it's only tiny. But as it keeps rolling down the mountain, it keeps gathering more and more snow. And before you know it, it's an avalanche, and it destroys villages and, buries people alive, etc. So same way in business. When you first get started, you're on your own and it seems like there's not much happening. But as you start recruiting people, as you start recruiting team members and they start recruiting team members and things start happening, the worst thing you can do is stop or take time off or go away on a holiday or do whatever, right? When the momentum starts taking place, what you want to do is put your head down and invest every single ounce of effort and energy you can into keeping this momentum going. Because once it gets into the snowball effect, then you're going to see some big results in your business. So you really want to get the momentum going. And one of the keys to getting momentum going is quality time every single day. It's not about quantity. Some people go, well, I'm not full-time. I have a full-time job. I can only give this business half an hour a day or 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day. No problem. It's not about quality. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. It's about what you do in that half an hour. You can sit down in half an hour and call 30 prospects and send out 30 business opportunity presentations. Whereas another person might have spent 6 hours doing business today, but actually they've been on Facebook watching dancing cats all day long, right? So it's not about amount of time. It's about what you do with that time. And we know that the biggest and most important time is in front of a prospect, in front of somebody who can say yes and buy your product or can say yes and join your business. This is major time. Everything else is minor time. So if you do that quality time every single day, it's going to start the momentum because you recruit 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, and this will start generating some momentum happening. So you want to get your business into a momentum. Okay, so that's number 6. Get your business into momentum. Number 7, be in a leader builder business, right? So you're not looking for sheep. You're not looking to be the Bob the uncle, and everybody just follows you because you are the superstar and you are the hero that everybody adores and worships, etc. And they just follow you and listen to everything what you say. You don't really want to do that. What you want to do is you want to build leaders. So you are the leader. If you're on this conference call right now, if you started building your team, if you got few people in your team, if you got group points, that means you're a leader now, right? You started building your dynasty. You started building your legacy, right? What you want to do is find other people like you. Look for people like you, for people who have big ambitions, who have hunger for better life, who are prepared to roll up their sleeves and put in the necessary work to develop that kind of income, etc. And you want to build leaders. I always say to my leaders, I say, look, guys, I love you. I'm going to train you. I'm going to look after you, etc. But my job is to get you as independent from me as soon as possible. I want you to be me. Right? Where you can run your own trainings, you can run your own presentations, you can look after your own team, you can basically run the show for yourself. Because remember, point number 2 was, you are the upline. You are the CEO of your business. So I don't want you to be reliable on Gediminas or on anybody else. I want you to be the boss of your business. So my job is to transfer everything from my head into your head so you become independent and you become a leader. I don't want followers. I want leaders in my organization. So you want to do the same thing. You want to be in a leader, build a business. Spot those people in your organization. Now, guess what? Not everybody is going to be a leader. Some people are going to join your business, and after a few weeks, few months, you're going to realize that this person, unfortunately, they're not going to become a leader. They're just probably going to be buying products for themselves or maybe selling a little bit, but they're not into building a team and becoming, a CEO of their own business. And that's okay. You need every single person in your business. But you will spot some people, you will go, this person, inside your head, you're going to go, this person could be better than me. I mean, they just look like they have so much potential in them, right? So that person, you want to spend most of your time working with that person, helping them to become a leader in your business. Okay, so that's number 7. Number 8, become a problem solver. You see, some people look at problems like something like toxic, like a poison in their business. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want problems in my business. I just want a smooth business that just goes all the way to the top, and I'm a diamond, I've got a car, and I've got great income, and yay, I win. Unfortunately, if you ever seen, there's this picture they put on Facebook, they say what people think success is and what success actually is like loads of ziggles, and zaggles, etc. But that's really how it is. It's about problems. Once you understand that, you're going to be looking forward to problems, because more problems you solve, the more money you're going to be making. And once you solve those problems, you're going to get some bigger problems. And once you solve those problems, you're going to get even more money. And then you're going to get even bigger problems. And as you keep going up through the ranks, as your team starts growing, you're going to have bigger and bigger and bigger problems. Because guess what? We're in a people's business. And where there's people, there are problems and challenges, etc. Right? So you need to get in a mentality of that I am a problem solver. In a traditional business, if you think about it, let's take Virgin, right? With Richard Branson at the top. People at the bottom, they haven't got many problems because they probably just doing physical job, very simple tasks. They get paid very, very little, but they don't need to think too much. They just do the physical job, etc. And as soon as there's a challenge, what do? They go, I need to speak to my supervisor, or I need to speak to my manager. So they pass the problem up. And the manager solves it if he can. That's why he gets paid a little bit more than the employee. But if he can't solve the problem, he will pass it on to a branch manager or to a regional manager or whatever. And the size of the bigger the problem, the further up it's going to travel. And if it's like huge, it's going to end up all the way to Richard Branson. And guess what? Richard Branson hasn't got anybody to pass the problem up. He is at the top. So he has to solve that problem, right? But guess what? This is why he is a billionaire, right? That's why he makes the type of money that he makes, because he has a head on his shoulders that can solve almost any problem in his business. And that's why his businesses are so successful and he makes such a huge money. Well, same way in your network marketing business. You are the leader. You are at the top of your organization. So the chances are you're going to get hit with the biggest and most challenging problems. But don't be afraid of them. When you get hit with those problems, just go, hey, that means my business is growing. Because guess what? If right now you haven't got many challenges and many issues and many problems in your business, I can tell you that your business is not big enough. Once it starts growing, once your team starts growing, guess what? You're going to get a lot more phone calls. You're going to get a lot more team members, etc. That's why I always say to people, when you start, because your team almost is not existent, your sales is here and your teamwork is here. But as the time goes by, your sales start going down and you start investing a lot more time working with your team, troubleshooting, helping them out, supporting them, answering questions, etc. Because that's really your role as a leader. It's not to go out and sell products, etc. You can do that, but that's not what's going to give you the biggest income. It's the big team that's going to give you the biggest income. So that's why you want to look at yourself as a problem solver, and problems are good. Don't be afraid of problems. Okay, number 9, you need to become a master of stories, right? First story that people want to hear when they talk to you, that your prospect wants to know, does this product work? Is this a good product? So you need to get some stories and some demonstrations to show people why your product is good. Why does it work? Why is it great, right? So you need to have some of that. And the second question that a person will ask is, can you make any money in this, right? So again, you need some stories of how does the income come? Your own story. How much money did you make in your first month, second month, etc.? And it's not going to be millions, but it gives people a story that is tangible. You actually made some real money in your first month, in your second month, etc. But then you might collect some stories of higher top leaders. Like this week, we've just celebrated, one of our leaders receiving sixth car from the company, right? We went to the head office, we had some champagne and some sweets, etc. And they picked up the keys for the sixth car from the company, right? That person been in business for 8 years and they've already received 6 cars from the business, right? It's a great story. Guess what? Next time I speak to somebody and somebody's into cars, guess what? I'm going to tell them the story about this leader who got 6 cars from the company. So become a collector of the stories. Most of you have seen the picture with a lady with 250,000 pounds, standing on a stage. That's a good story, right? That you can share with somebody and tell them about the business, etc. So become a collector of these stories, to answer, does the product work? And can you make any money with this? Because that's really what the person is interested. They don't care who's the owner of the company and, how many children they have and all of that. You can keep that for the training. The prospect doesn't want to know that. Okay, so that's really important. Okay, number 10 is 2 questions. As a recruiter, as a leader, you want to use these 2 questions because these 2 questions are going to be the most important. The first question is, what did you like the best? The worst thing you can ask after the presentation to somebody is, what do you think about it? Or what did you get from it? Because that sort of invites criticism. What you want to do is ask a person, what did you like best? And the person will tell you, I like the best the products, I like the best the income, I like the best, the leadership, the diamond, this, that, and the other, right? So you're finding out what sort of drives that person. And the second question is, when are you going to get starting, right? When do you want to get started, right? That's also a good question, right? Because some will go right now, right? Some will say, oh, I need to sleep on it or think about it or whatnot. Somebody might say, well, next week or whatever, right? But they have to then give you a date. They have to tell you, okay, tomorrow or this way, etc. So concretely, because you don't want maybes. You want a yes or a no, but you don't want a maybe. Like, oh, I've got so many people, in the books, they're just thinking about it. And one day, all of them going to join my business. Look, don't kid yourself and don't fool yourself. You want the person to say either, yeah, I'm joining, or no, not right now, right? And this way you can then move on, and go next, and go approach another person. So these are the 2 questions. What did you like best? And same if somebody tried the product, what did you like best about it? And when you want to get started, right? It's really good questions, right? So use them. Okay. Number 11, it's really, really important. It's probably second most important point for today. And that's chasing the business downline. You want to chase the business downline. What do I mean about it? Well, when you recruit people at the beginning, you're just recruiting everybody directly under you, and you're not quite sure who's going to be succeeding, who's going to be doing something or not. Some of them will be zeros, some of them will do some points, but then some of them will start recruiting. That's the line you want to chase down. Because if somebody starts activity, they start hosting meetings, they start inviting people, etc., you want to chase the business down that line. Example is like if you're on a motorway and you have 3 lanes and 1 lane opens up and you can see it's clear. How long would you go on that lane? As long as you can, isn't it? As long as you don't see another car in the way and you have to move on to the another lane. So as soon as you get an open lane in your business, which is a person who is active and started recruiting and their recruits started recruiting, you want to work down that line as long as you can, as long as you can until it stops, until you hit somebody who goes, nah, I don't want to build a team, that's it, it's dead end. And then you start a new line and you work down that line. But you want to chase your business down line. You can build huge organizations if you just work down that line and work with the people on your second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line. Just keep working down. Because sometimes we make a mistake where we recruit somebody, that person joins the business, it's our personal recruit, so we train that person and teach that person, and then that person starts building a team, and we don't keep in touch with their people and their people's people, etc. That's a mistake. Because sometimes the person who you recruited, they might run out of fire, they might run out of ambition or motivation, and the business stops. But if you had worked with those people deep in the line, it could have kept going on and on and on and on and on and on, and it could keep growing, your business. So it's really important to chase your business down line. Use that open lane and work it down until it stops, and then start a new one, and then work it down and start a new one. And sometimes you might be working on 2 or 3 lines at the same time if you're lucky. that's great. You know, then just keep busy with those people and keep working it down. Keep working it down, and you're going to see some phenomenal stuff. Okay, number 12 is knowledge, action, skills, and habits. Number one, when you start in business or when somebody starts in your team, you want to get some knowledge into their head so they can understand this business model, they can understand the products, etc. But then knowledge uninvested is wasted. So then the second step is action. You want them to put it in action, and you want yourself to start putting your knowledge in action. So if you learned about products, start presenting them to people, start selling them to people. If you've learned about the marketing plan and the business plan, start showing it to people and sharing it, because by sharing, you will master it even more. Because when you have to explain to somebody something, a concept or whatever, you have to understand it better. So that's that. But then once you start the action going, you will start realizing, I'm not quite sure how to do that. I'm not quite sure how to do that. Not quite sure. So then you need to start working on your skills, like inviting people, like presenting, like follow up, like closing, like getting people started, like promoting events. So then you need to start improving your skills, because now you're becoming a leader, right? You're building a business. And then finally, the most important part is habits, because the habits will make you or break you. Habits are the best of servants or the worst of masters. So you want to build positive habits where recruiting people, calling people, talking to people, selling products becomes like second nature to you, where you don't even need to think about it, where your knees no longer shaking together and bouncing together, you know, where you do it effortlessly. And the only way you're going to get there is through loads and loads and loads of practice, to where it becomes a habit, you know, where you can chat up somebody in a shop or in a petrol station or in a anywhere. Just by having a quick chat, you can lead it into business, and you can give them your business card or your catalog or your DVD or whatever, right? You want to get into a habit, you know, habit of getting up early, habit of reading books, habit of investing in yourself, habit of attending events. All of those most important things in business, you want it to become your habit, your second nature. Okay, and then 13, the last one, is you need to develop short-term memory when it comes to disappointments. When it comes to things that, you know, doesn't work out, you know, you need to be patient. You know, things will take time. Develop that patience and that resilience, you know, where you will get knocked down, you will get some, you know, problems, but develop a short-term memory. You know, you get slapped in the face, you know, just wipe it off and keep going, get up and keep going, you know, and just learn to sort of ignore those bad things and to develop the short-term memory where it doesn't affect you. Because what separates amateurs from professionals is that amateurs, if they get a failure, if they get something that didn't work out, they will get upset and it will take out them for a week or for a month. Whereas a professional, even if they had a goal this month and they didn't hit it, they'll just brush off like a duck, you know, of its feathers, and they go, okay, tomorrow is next month, and they just keep going. They just keep going. They never give up. They don't allow the negative, mood to set in. They don't allow the negative emotions to drag them down. They understand. It still affects them. Everybody gets affected, but they pick themselves up and they keep going. They pick themselves up and keep going until they break through. It's called fail your way to success. Fail forward. You know, you didn't hit the level this month, no worries. Try next month. You didn't hit it again, try again until you hit it. And guess what? Just because you keep trying and keep trying, you're still going to hit that level faster than most other people in the organization, because they are not even trying. They are not even setting that goal in the first place. But if you set a huge goal, you go halfway there, you go, no problem. Next month, we start again. And you go there, maybe 3 quarters in, you go, no problem. Let's do it again. And then you will hit it in a record time compared to most other people, because they just go, well, when I hit it, I hit it. You know, one day I'll get there, right? So you really want to develop this patience. You know, what I mean is that, like, it's going to take some time. You know, you don't get upset too quick, but you also keep going at it, keep going at it, keep going at it. And you will see some really, really, really incredible results. So I want to leave you today, guys, with a 5-step process for success. So step 1, you need to identify what is your goal. Right now, after we finish this call, you need to grab a piece of paper and write down what's your goal for the next 30 days, for the next 90 days, for the next 12 months, etc. What is your goal? You know, what rank do you want to hit? Which level do you want to hit in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, etc.? What's your plan, right? So set a goal. And, you know, the best thing is to have a dream book for this thing, you know, but if you haven't got a dream book, just grab a piece of paper and do it on it. Number 2, DMO, daily method of operation. What will you do every single day to hit those goals, to reach those goals? So what is your DMO? What is your daily method of operation? What activities you're going to do every single day to hit that? Okay. Step number 3, deadline. Set a deadline to those goals, because if you're given a month to do something, most people will wait to the last week to do it. If you will get 2 months to do that, most people will wait 2 months before they do that, right? So most people are trained, their brain is trained for deadlines. So set a deadline. I want to get this car by this day. I want to hit this rank by this day. I want to hit this income level every single month by this day, and set deadlines. And if you miss it, don't worry. Just set another deadline, but set a deadline. Don't leave it open. Step number 4, where you will do it. So when you actually achieve it, when you pick up that car, or when you get that check, or when you hit that rank, where will you achieve it? Where is going to be the place where that happens? Maybe it's a conference, maybe it's at the office, maybe it's with your team, whatever. But name the place where it's going to happen. Write it down. It's going to happen at this place, on this day, at this time, right? Program it into your success, into your mind. And then last step, number 5, is visualization. It's vividly imagining it, right? So close your eyes and imagine yourself picking up that car. Imagine yourself making that income. Imagine yourself hitting that level, right? Visualize it. And not just once. If you can, do it every single day. As soon as you wake up or just before you go to bed, visualize your most important goals. And it might be nothing to do even with money or income. It might be a relationship goal. It might be fitness goal. It might be whatever goal, right? But whatever goals you have, spend a few minutes every day just to visualize them. How would it feel to drive that car? How would it feel to know that you have that amount of money in your bank account? How would it feel going on a stage, at that rank and rubbing shoulders with other people who hit that rank? And get those emotions flowing, because that's what's going to drive you. That's what's going to power you. That's going to be your fuel to go and push forward. And when the bad things happen, you're just going to go all back to that. You're going to go, I'm not going to stop because I want to get that. Getting that pleasure of getting that is more than the pain I'm suffering now. Because guess what? You're going to suffer pain one way or another. It's either going to be a pain of regret, of not even trying, of not even attempting, or it's going to be the pain of progress, of getting there. So either way, you're going to get pain. Either way, you're going to have to pay the price. But I'd rather pay the price of success than pay the price of failure. They say, the success, price for success weighs ounces, but weight of regret weighs tons. When you're in your deathbed, I seriously doubt that you're going to be thinking about most of the things in life. But you're going to be thinking about the relationships you've had, the things you achieved, the things you accomplished, what you left behind, etc. So that's what you want to do. Focus on those things. Let them drive you. Let them pull you. They say if your goal is big enough, it can pull you through bad stuff or negative things or bad days or bad weeks, etc. So they say that your why should make you cry. Your reason to do this business or your reason to succeed should make you cry. It should be so important, and it should be so vivid, and it should be so big that it should make you emotional when you think about it, right? And that's, that you have a good goal then, if it really drives you, really, really strong. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks very much for attending. Love you guys. Thanks very much for being here. Next week we're going to do it again, another topic.